off all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night
for vVv Gaming. We've seen reset a Protoss player for vVv yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen reset play or reset play yet, and the way things have been going for RuFF, we may not see reset get to play, or even Hasu get to play, as Game 5 now gets underway. Terran versus Zerg. It is going to be on Metalopolis, and this is going to be close by air, as RuFF spawns at the 3 o'clock position as the red Terran. Meanwhile, wOmpbeatz spawning as the pretty in pink Zerg at the 12 o'clock position.
And this is going to be good for a split map, this close by air. Obviously, you have to worry about drops and mutas and things like that, but you're really always expanding away from your opponent. If you're cross map, you sort of expand towards your opponent. So once you're able to secure your natural and get past that early game aggression, maybe the early push from one of the players, that third pretty easy to take, the fourth even safer as well, as you're just continuing to get farther and farther from your opponent. And I imagine we'll see this this northern road and the northern watchtower heavily contested as this game goes on.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to go down. A supply depot already being created at the ramp. Meanwhile, wOmpbeatz is moving around with this Overlord. I believe the Overlord has revealed itself to RuFF, so RuFF knows exactly where his opponent is. And we'll see whether or not the players are well practiced on this map. I know RuFF is a ladder warrior. He does play a lot of games on the ladder, but Metalopolis has not been there. At least I don't think it's currently there. But he did practice for MLG, so he should be pretty well versed.
It's there. I think it wasn't there for maybe one, perhaps 2 seasons, but I really like this map, so I'm glad they brought it back. And I believe it even lasts until the next season when they're adding even more maps. There's going to be 10 ladder maps now, so many strategies and so many maps that you have to basically train yourself on. I think it's going to be interesting. I think more players are going to use all 3 of their vetoes, and if some didn't veto, but having 10 maps that you have to practice for and know the hidden cannon positioning and bunker positioning that you have to defend against, it's a lot to worry about.
Yeah, it is a lot to worry about, as we see wOmpbeatz is going for a fast hatchery. I believe that was a 15 hatchery, and we do see 2 SCVs pushing away that one particular drone. The drone wasn't able to see very much of anything, but that's where the Overlord comes into play. The Overlord, I believe, was able to spot the gas and knows what exactly is going on, as the drone now down to 6 hit points. Oh, down to 2 hit points, but natural regeneration on the Zerg for the victory there.
Yeah, Zerg OP. I don't know about dropping mules and repairing Thors when you got that 1 HP a second, keeping your drones alive, and he's going to go home, heal himself up, and go back to work as a miner.
Yep, so no true loss there. Now, the only thing I gotta say about the addition of the new maps is I think Metropolis is actually going to be in the ladder map pool. So it's going to be very, very fun when Metropolis versus Metalopolis. I know a lot of people get confused on those maps already. I don't know why. It's just rotated kind of funky with island expansions. And they do look very similar, but RuFF in this game is going for double refineries, surprisingly, and also a hidden ghost academy.
Crazy. RuFF, you're so crazy. Wow, so he's got 1 Rax at the moment. He does have a tech lab, so this ghost academy is so early, and it's almost done. Ghost academies only take 40 seconds, Crota. What the heck?
Yeah, ghost academy is kind of that tier 1.5 building that for some reason a lot of Terran players don't build until later on. We're going to see the Reaper go ahead and jump back down, do a little bit of dance in between these bases, but RuFF taking too much damage on that Reaper. Yeah. It will get taken out, as we are now going into a second Ghost Academy.
Oh my. I think his SCV might be trapped after he creates this one, but I guess we're going to have nukes coming, maybe nukes with Cloak. And if the Zerg player doesn't get to Hive Tech or Lair Tech fast enough, he's not going to have any sort of detection possibilities. He's going to scout RuFF, he's going to see a factory, so he does see double gas. He might go for an Evo chamber to try to counter Banshees, but double Ghost Academies, nothing on the way quite yet, as working off one base gas is pretty difficult to fund all this early tech coming from RuFF.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to be happening next. It looks as though we could be getting a nuke. Nukes do take 100 seconds or 60 seconds to make and 100 gas each. So it really is going to cut into the amount of ghosts that can be trained. If I'm doing my math correctly, once the ghosts are out, you can train 2 nukes a second. And with the way that nukes are falling, it takes 20 seconds to call down a nuke, and it takes 60 seconds to build one. So I guess there would be 20 seconds per minute that you don't have a nuke and a red dot that you're hunting for on the screen at a time.
And the gas just now being added for wOmpbeatz, so he's adding 3 gas. I imagine he's going to get maybe even lair before spawning pool. He doesn't, or he actually does have an Evo chamber, so he is making a spore crawler in each of his mineral lines, but he's going to have to pick those up depending on the position of the ghost, and maybe even guess and try to take down those ghosts with queens. It's going to be a difficult proposition, especially once cloaking does finish. Ghosts have 100 HP. So the first nuke is on the way, or actually finished, and yeah, we'll see what comes.
All right, we'll see what's gonna happen next. RuFF is ready to go. The first nuke is the first nuke already ready? Yeah, we have triple nukes. Okay, so I don't think he realizes that you don't actually have enough gas to train up 3 nukes at a time.
Don't tell RuFF how to cheese, Crota.
I know who I'm talking to. I know who I'm talking to, but we'll see what's going to happen now as the ghost is coming in. He does have very low energy, and he is going to try to walk his way in. The spore crawler may actually spot him, and the ghost gets taken out. Wow.
That's so huge. Are there any other ghosts? There's no other ghost on the field. So that strategy is completely shut down. He's got 3 nukes waiting for no ghost. I can't, wow. You think maybe you scan to try to see if a spore crawler's down? Your opponent got the scouting information that you saw a double refinery, so he's going to have a spore crawler somewhere. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just at a loss for words, just like you. We do have a second command center now coming in. The Marines and the Reaper trying to back around. RuFF is very far behind. He tried to go for a bit of cheese, and you know what? We may have a PVZ after all, as these Ghost Academies aren't really doing much of anything except for holding a nuke.
Yes, so RuFF does have a command center up. He's going to try to land that. He does only have 32 SCVs on one base, very oversaturated, compared to the 50 Harvester by wOmpbeatz, and I really like this play by wOmpbeatz, not going for a third. You know your opponent is on just one base. You don't need to go for that third right now. In fact, it would probably be a mistake to go for that. Maybe overextend a little too much on the economy side. Instead, going for a very strong army, a lot of lings coming out, and yeah, he's going to be able to fend off. Now a nuke does go down at the front door. We do have an Overseer coming in, but I have a feeling the nuke will land and maybe even kill the Overseer.
Okay, so in comes the nuke now. Nuke will be landing. Perhaps taking down the Spine Crawler, maybe the Evil. Yep, the Overseer, no, does not die. The Evolution Chamber looks like it's going to be taking a little bit of damage, but the Overseer, perhaps not knowing that a second nuke is coming in, and that hatchery may take a lot more damage, as we're going to see one drone does get taken down. Broodlings are now trying to find his target, as the one ghost is stuck and taken out by Broodlings.
Yeah, interesting play. The Ghost, another one, does run out of Cloak, so it's going to go down as well. And this is just so many resources, so much gas sunk into this early play by RuFF. And I have a feeling just any sort of counterattack with this this Baneling composition is just going to crush RuFF.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. The Zerglings looking for perhaps the Ghost Academy. Zerglings now testing that front door. Each of them are getting destroyed. New bunkers are being established. Marines do not have a combat shield. Banelings are going to have a field day with them in just a moment. The Overseer is in the air, keeping track, making sure no ghosts are able to snipe them out. And we are still seeing the factory floating off, making sure that they know when more and more Zerglings are coming in from the main base. But things are not looking good, as those Banelings will just be able to bust this game wide open. And here we go.
Yeah, for once the cheese does not work for RuFF, and now these Banelings going to do so much damage, take down that bunker almost immediately. It's split a little bit. They're trying to get to these Marines back behind the mineral line. Instead, going for the main, they're going to take down this wall, taking down an important tech lab as well, which was researching something, probably combat shield. So up into the main now with all these units. It looks like RuFF was able to defend against that initial attack, but 32 more lings on the way, already 6 at home, infestors as well, and I think the follow-up is probably going to kill RuFF.
32 more lings, yeah, that is going to be a very, very large follow-up. We'll see what's going to be happening next. You can see more Marines are being trained. They are trying to look for perhaps Zerglings that are morphing into Banelings in the backside. The Marines should be able to spot that, no problem whatsoever. Going to take down those 2 Banelings. There we go, 1, 2. before anything really happens. Zergling now trying to take down the SCV over here as wOmpbeatz is establishing up his third at the 10 o'clock position. And more Marines are now still making their way back down. I don't see any medevacs yet. A starport now just adding a reactor as 1-1 upgrades just about to complete, as 2-1 upgrades are now being started for the Zerg.
I don't even know what RuFF can transition into here to try to win this game. Maybe if he goes for like an all-in drop and then does a lot of damage and pulls out and sort of resets the game a little bit. But at this point, he's got nothing that can deal with this Ling Baneling, heavily upgraded Ling Baneling force, which is about to hit his front door. It's going to be 2-1 coming at him.
Yeah, the only thing that can really happen is if... Actually, no, the Ghost can't even snipe a Baneling anymore. All right, so there's nothing that these Ghosts can do in order to stop the Banelings. I find it funny that the StarCraft Masters had it so that a Ghost could snipe a Baneling, and now it doesn't work at all. We'll see what's going to happen now. The Marines are upgraded 1-1. We are double training up of medevacs. But the Zerglings, if they're caught out of position and the Marines and the Marauders or the Marines are able to get a lot of damage in the main base, that might be just enough, as a drop could be coming in.
Yeah, if I was RuFF, I might actually make lift off my natural and put the command center I'm creating there in its place and make that a planetary fortress. And then like put the orbital command in front of it and then defend the next attack with a planetary fortress. Because I think that's the only thing that can really counter the composition that wOmpbeatz is going for at this point.
Yeah, wOmpbeatz is just in such a nice position. You can see two bunkers. Only one of them has anything. Zerglings now trying to make their way in. SCVs need to come off the mineral line. Marines getting caught out of position as well. We're going to see Infestors now coming in, and that's going to be a fungal growth nightmare as the Marines and the Marauders just getting stuck in place. Chain fungal growths. We do have a nuke now coming in over here at the main base. And will this nuke do any real damage is the key question. And this may be the reset that we were looking for. No, the drones do catch it. And now out comes the nuke, taking down the Spore Crawler. And is it going to be enough, as a second nuke could be coming in once again?
Yeah, it is 135 to 36 at this point, though. So even though a ton of drones are about to die, there's Lings in rough space, and RuFF not going to have a great time. Wow, a lot just died in the main of wOmpbeatz, so at least we got a decent show out of it, but it's 123 to 31 at this point, and RuFF's in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
RuFF is in a lot of trouble. There's not much he can really do. Down by over 90 food. His opponent is quadruple him in supply now, running up on 4 bases compared to his 1, as he's lost his orbital command and his additional command center. Spore made me lose the game. 1 Spore Crawler, and that's all it took for him to lose the game.
Yeah, like I said, maybe scan ahead of that if you're doing that. All sorts of all-in cheese with triple nukes. But yeah, RuFF bemoaning the fact that he lost this game, but needs to GG so we can get to the next one, as Binary Gaming about to take their second game from vVv, making it 3-2, and we'll see whether wOmpbeatz has it in him to come back.
Alright, so yes, it looks like we will have a PVZ, and there is RuFF's GG. wOmpbeatz not giving RuFF the satisfaction of saying anything in that game, as RuFF does like to have a little bit of trash talk to go with his games as well, but RuFF, just a poor mistake there, walking straight within sight range of a Spore Crawler, and that Spore Crawler is the detector, and there goes that Ghost.